We are starting the show off right with our friend from London, Simon Walker for Red Giant Software.
Thanks, everyone. Red Giant Software has asked me to present a film that they've made, and they've teamed up with a hip young director from the States called Seth Worley. Red Giant Software, if you don't know, make software plugins so that they do the sorts of things that extend software programs. So they make plugins for color corrections that Final Cut can't do, or that Final Cut can't do as fast. And the whole thing is that they're very proud of doing work on big Hollywood movies. They're very proud that these big movies use their plugins. But they also wanted to show that you could use these tools on smaller programs. And this film that they've produced is kind of a preview or sneak peek, if you will. I know it's tradition to have a sneak peek at these SuperMeets, but the film lasts about 9 minutes or so. And I'll talk a little bit about how they did some of the effects. Here we go.
It was a small project. I liked the script. It was kind of amusing. They wanted me to do it. And small projects like that are really good test beds for trying new ideas. And we actually did an entirely different 3D workflow on that as an experiment. All the rendering is done different for us.
What I want to know is, how did you actually get into visual
What is happening?
What do you think, man? I got 3 days to retirement and we're getting shot at. That's what's going on.
Who are you?
The only friend you got right now, buddy.
What? Oh! Seriously, man, who are you? What are you doing with 2 guns in my driveway?
If you want to go for the bomb, I can cover you.
I don't have any interest in doing that at all.
We'll go on 3.
Okay, you do that. I'm sorry.
Man, are you crazy?
Shut up, weirdo. Get out of my driveway.
Man, stop messing around.
Stop talking to me. Are you kidding me?
Get rid of that thing.
Okay.
This isn't better.
I couldn't help but feel that this situation wasn't better.
What the?
And on top of that, I could suddenly hear my own voice, as if my thoughts were being read back to me.
Okay, stop that now.
And then trouble appeared.
What?
This dame was a looker. Kind of a chippy, if my hunch was right.
Chippy?
Not that kind of girl, Benny.
What the heck?
Benny, you gotta help me. I owe that bookie a lot of dough, and if I don't pay, he's gonna rub me out.
I didn't know what that meant, but it sounded inappropriate. I didn't know what to say.
Seriously?
What's wrong, Benny?
Listen, lady. Excuse me.
I decided the only way I could get off this dirt
Okay,
road
great.
to nowhere was to
Thank
skip
you.
out the same
Got
way
it.
I came in. I put my hands on the cold, dead steel, and I...
That's better. That makes sense. Nope. No, stop! Please stop! Freaking! Stop! Idiots!
Do you ever feel like life is just a waiting room?
No. I like a shark.
Thanks.
Did you know that sharks can live outside the water for 5 years?
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, me either. I think I'm gonna tell you that I love you.
I don't know what that means.
Oh, thank God. That's actually pretty sweet. Get off my lawn. That's really gross.
It's you. It's always been you.
I thought I'd lost you.
Can't get rid of me that easily. Oh, crap!
These guys are just having way too much fun. The director's, and they're really young. The director's 25 or 26, and his brother, Ben, the lead actor, is a teenager. By the way, I was chatting with some people out in the foyer beforehand, and apparently some of us are still using Final Cut Pro 7. So, I know. But the filmmakers used Final Cut 7 to edit the movie, and they used Magic Bullet Looks and Magic Bullet Suite to do some of the grading effects. So, in honor of that, I'm going to use Final Cut 7. Plus, I know it works. Anyway, what they planned to do was to kind of refer to some of their favorite movie genres. And they did this by scripting them in that particular style, but also by combining a number of filmic techniques. One of the issues is how do you film it? How do you do the camera movement? And like for the action scenes at the beginning, these were based on 80s action movie where the camera doesn't move so much. And then the noir scenes have these kind of interesting, odd, quirky camera angles. And then you've got the science fiction scene, which is all movement. The camera's moving all the time. And so they were kind of hinting at these particular genres, and that was the point. They were doing this on no budget, filming over a long weekend, using a Canon 7D as the camera, and borrowing kit where they could. But they wanted to make it look and feel like a much bigger movie, a much more expensive movie. And one of the techniques they used was to color grade it. For example, for the action movie scenes, these guys used Magic Bullet Looks, which is a plug-in for Final Cut and Premiere in Motion and After Effects, and quite possibly Final Cut 10. The engineers have said they're working on it. The idea is that they can apply these color looks to a series of clips that helps interpret what the footage looks like, or at least their version of the films. They watched these things on VHS in the 80s. So as well as adding a kind of purplish tint, they're using the tools in Magic Bullet Looks to add a little bit of film grain to kind of simulate that VHS-ness, if you like, of the movie. For the sci-fi section, they realized that lots of modern sci-fi has this really kind of greeny, bluey look, especially it's green and blue in the shadows and the midtones. But the skin tones are still quite accurate. They're still quite orangey. So they used a plugin called Magic Bullet Mojo for doing this. And there you go. There's your instant sci-fi look. This is fun. How sci-fi do you want it, Mr. Client? Do you want it really sci-fi? Do you want it a little warmer, a bit more Resident Evil, perhaps? Or no, we'll keep it cooler, and perhaps you want to punch up the contrast a little bit. This is where you convince your client that you've slaved all day to do this look. The point is that these are techniques built on the sorts of things that you would do with the traditional color wheel, but they're built into a tool that enables you to do things much faster. So they're still technically accurate, it's just in an interface that speeds things up. And for the romance section, they knew they had to come up with like this really warm, diffused lighting effect. So they used Magic Bullet Looks for this. And they were able to combine these tools, use a bit of diffusion, use a bit of coloring to get this kind of warm effect. But as well as having lots of tools inside the program, you've got lots of presets. And so they were able to use a series of presets to just speed up their process. So did I mention the fact that they used my presets on this film? The whole point of this is that it speeds up time. Red Giant have got a bunch of presets that you can download from their website, which helps you accelerate the production process. So then they scripted the movie, they stood out in the rain, they filmed it, they produced it, they edited it, they post-produced it, but they used my preset, so I give them some credit. The thing is that it's designed to save you time. If you wanted to ask me a little bit more about the movie, or if you want to go and find out a bit more about the director, to go to sethworley.com or redgiantsoftware.com. They'll have a making of video, and they've got lots more information about the film. But I'm also out on the Red Giant table, so if you want to ask me about this or any other of the plugins that Red Giant make. And I do a series of training in Final Cut and Final Cut Studio and in Adobe software, and also do some training in the Magic Bullet plugins themselves. So you can have a chat with the people on the Ravensbourne table as well. But if you want free training, you can follow me on twitter.com, and I often post free little training clips about how you can do stuff and how you can do certain techniques. Thank you very much.